Hey, Shalom, Kohala, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chachadash, the ones the apostles of great millstone, and Shalom, true brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting the good fight of faith. Lord willing, we are found in that number. All right, so I'm just gonna go a little bit in on, this situation with this cat, Alizé, the Gorilla Hebrew commanding chief priest. That might be a page right out of General Yohana's book, commanding and commander and all this other nonsense. But all that being said, he has put himself in a position where there's really no turning back. Okay? He's striving for popularity from this kingdom. All right? And the things that he's doing is just, making it messy for himself, making it real messy and ugly. All right, so that's him on the screen. The urbangorilla.com, Sakari, Hebrew Israelites, chief commanding, chief priests, Gorilla Hebrew, all sorts of titles and all sorts of fancy, acronyms and so on and so forth. You gotta watch out for a man like that, who has several different names and titles and, abbreviations and this, that, and the third. Alright, but without further ado, let me get into the lesson, man. So the first scripture I want to go to is 1 Timothy 3:13. It says, "But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceived and being deceived." All right. So he is that evil man who's now, being a seducer. A seducer is more of an imposter. All right. And being in this truth of ours, he is an imposter. He wants to come up and be Mr. Brotherly and, be Mr. Super Duper Israelite. But at the outset, he's just a nigga trying to get fame and, and praises and glory and be recognized here in this kingdom. You can have this kingdom. You can have this kingdom and everything that it has to offer you. You can take it, because it's going to get destroyed and you're going to get destroyed right along with it. That's just my belief, And the Lord was not kidding. Here we are in these last days, and this guy is going way off to the left-hand side, way out there. All right? And it stands true. Shall wax worse and worse, deceived and being deceived. And that's what a poser and a fraudster does. Okay? This guy ain't really about the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, as we've been hearing for the past couple of days. The word of the Most High. The Bible's not the word of the Most High, but the word of the Most High is contained in the Bible. I mean, what kind of horse shit y'all got going on over there? Okay? As it is saying, it's getting worse and worse. They can't help themselves. All right, so let's look at it like this, right? You got the head apostles who pretty much, groomed every man who's in this truth in some shape or fashion. All right, but their report has never changed. Okay, their countenance has never changed. Their spirit has never changed. So for a man to go in the direction that he's going, Sakari, such as he's going, you gotta ask him. You gotta ask yourself, where did this come from? Because it damn sure didn't come from your teachers. All right? And if you really go deeper on it, let's talk about a man of the Lord. How a man of the Lord should carry himself. How a man of the Lord should conduct himself. All right? So you can look at Jeremiah, Isaiah, Obadiah, James, Matthew, Luke, John. You can look at all these prophets and just, you know, you put yourself in a position to say, okay, this is how these men carry themselves. We want to emulate that. We want to be in that same spirit, in that same stead that these men who have labored and gave their life, for Yahweh Shem Shai. And if you pay close attention to head apostles, they're willing to do the same thing as we all. But when you get a guy who's, pushing out many names for himself, many titles, many references for himself, you get a guy that wants to, chop down the men whom he has learned from. You know this man, right? And you know he's not a man of the Lord. You see? Psalms 14 and 15. I'm Shalakia. Proverbs 14 and 15. It says, the simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. Right. The prudent man looketh well to his going. All right. And anybody that has come under the umbrella of the head apostles and great millstone, we carry ourselves in a totally different fashion, man. And we also understand the importance of order. See, this is why a lot of you men fall out, because you don't understand the importance of order. You don't know how to take orders. You don't know how to receive orders. All right. And men like, oh, I'm a grown man. I ain't listening to him. I'm gonna do my own thing. Well, go ahead. It is proven that the Lord will smite you with madness going against his program. As you see, these guys are getting worse. Excuse me, and worse. And they're not prudent. They don't look well to their going. Looking well to your going is acknowledging the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai is real. Looking well to your going is acknowledging that the men the Lord has set up are the men that the Lord is truly dealing with. Looking well to your going is examining yourself, and understanding that this thing isn't about you. It's not about one sole person, who decides that they want to be the chief commander of all Israel because their age is spot on where it needs to be. You see? So this man is not a man of the Lord. And I'm sure we all can agree on that. Because a man of the Lord is not going to carry himself in this fashion where there's always some type of controversy. All right, so I had went to this. Now, this is his Twitter page. Now, I don't have a Twitter account, but this is his Twitter page. And to be on Twitter, and it's just so much nonsense. The man is doing clearly too much, man. It just goes on and on and on and on and on, You're classifying yourself as a guerrilla Hebrew, a Sakari, the commanding chief priest, Alazar ben Lawyer. It just doesn't stop. You've fed into this world, and you let this world take you, man. You let this world take you by means of Satan. Got a hold of you and sifted you right out of here. Satan sifted you out, and you didn't even see it, man. And after he sifted you, the Lord smote you in your camp with madness. And this is why you men are speaking the way you're speaking. You ain't a man of the Lord, man. You guys ain't men of the Lord. Just set yourself in the midst of Jeremiah and Isaiah, Obadiah. Set yourself in the midst of them, man. And what do you think they would say to you? What do you think they would say concerning your actions, concerning the spirit that you're coming in? You know, these are some of the questions you have to ask. What would Yahweh Shai do? How would Yahweh Shai receive me? You know, and then the head apostles. You didn't learn any of the shit you're talking and the shit you're doing. You ain't learned that from the head apostles, man. You ain't learned that from them. All right, let's go to 1 Peter 5:5-6. It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves to the elder. All right. Now, what don't you understand about that? It says, submit yourselves to the elder. Not tell the elder that he's too old now. You got to get out of here. And it don't matter how old he is. Submit yourselves to the elder. And it says, yea, all of you be subjected one to another, and be clothed with humility. All right. So even though we have the head apostles, you know, they also put themselves in the midst of the younger brothers who are out there in the highways and byways. The head apostles don't make it impossible for them to get a hold of, for you to break bread or, you know, communicate with them. Unlike some of these men out here, you got to get a fucking pass. You got to set up a meeting, an appointment, this, that, and the third. Now, don't get me wrong. You just ain't going to bust up on the apostles' crib and so on and so forth. But at the same time, you know, they don't make it impossible to get a hold of them. Shoot them a message. You know, you're going to get a response. So, like it says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves to the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. Right. This dude Sakari is not clothed with humility. He's clothed with the sharpened sword of pride upon him. And it's gonna thrust him through, man. Okay? That man's not human. He don't have a humble bone in his body. It says, for the Most High resisteth the proud, and give the grace unto the humble. And why do you think the head apostles, man? Why do you think the Lord keeps giving them and blessing them with wisdom and knowledge and understanding? Because they truly submitted themselves to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? They've turned their life over to serve the Lord, man. And they go faithfully, week in and week out, doing shows, edifying, you know, bringing, you know, putting brothers, you know, in the right spirit. Week in and week out, man. So they have consistently clothed themselves with humility. Verse 6, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time. Okay? You see, Alazar, the scriptures say that the Lord may exalt you in due time. You promoted yourself and exalted yourself in a matter of short time. The Lord said in due time. Okay? Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he, who's the he? The Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, may exalt you in due time. Now, if you ain't waiting for that, for those ordinances to take place, and you rushing it because you got your mind set on, yeah, I want to be, this is my new title, I want to be out there so people can call upon me as that new chief or new commanding chief priest. But once again, man, it's all gimmicks. This shit is all a gimmick. It's all a game to these men. Okay? It's all a game. This is 1 Corinthians 14 and 37. It says, if any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. All right? So, the things that were written unto us, as Paul said, are the commandments of the Lord. But you got these men from Sakari denying the scriptures. Okay? So you clearly know they're not spiritual, and they're not the prophets of the Lord, man. Bringing all types of confusion to the table, man. All types. How do you think a young man who's trying to wake up into the truth, how do you think he's going to receive, the nonsense that you're teaching? But once again, the Lord is the one that's doing this to you. That's why it's no big marvel when we hear and we see videos that are being done and this, that, and the third. We don't marvel, because the Lord's putting you through. The Lord's putting the smiting you with madness, only to be destroyed in the long run, man. Only to be destroyed in the long run. All right. So all that being said, man, this dude is not a man of the Lord. He has not even taken the time to consider his wrongdoings or his evil doings. He's an evil man who's waxing worse and worse. He's an imposter trying to creep up, and he's going to get cut down, man. You can play the part, you can look the part, you can sound the part, but at the end of the day, you're an imposter, because the Lord don't recognize you. And that's going to be made known, man. The Lord does not recognize who you are, so to say. All right. So with that, I'm going to end it right there. This dude is not a man of the Lord. He's crafting his own, story. He's crafting his own story, as if when the kingdom comes, he's going to tell the story about Elazar ben Loyer, the guerrilla Hebrew, Sakari, how he fought through trials and tribulations. Everything that you do is sour, man. Sour. Alright, so with that, I'm going to end it on there. Lord willing, brothers edified. I say all praise due to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I'll see you on another show. I say shalom.